All right, we're coming at you again from the home office of City to City Miami, here in Miami, Florida, with Dr. Carl Ellis via remote. And Dr. Ellis, I have a question for you. One thing I hear much of is, particularly from African-American friends, is Christianity is a white man's religion. And hey, Jesus sounds like a nice guy, but what does he have to do with me? What does the religion of the slave master have to do with the religion of the slave? And why are you trying to push this on me? Does Free at Last deal with that at all? Do you have any answer to that question?
Free at Last pretty much debunks that. Of course, I've since the book has come out, of course, I've got a lot more to say about all of that. But first of all, Christianity didn't come out of Europe. It wasn't a product of Western culture or anything like that. Number two, Jesus was not white. I don't care what those pictures that you see of him, this androgynous, dove-washed,
What about the red-headed Mormon Jesus with the beard? I think he's a handsome Jesus.
Yeah, well, he's better, but that's not, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. If Jesus, Jesus was born and raised in the Middle East, and those weren't white folks, Now it's ironic though that a lot of people who turn to Islam, they say I turn to Islam because that's for us, But the hadith in Islam says that Muhammad was white. It says it unabashedly, and that Muhammad owned black slaves. Okay. And that Muhammad referred to black people as raisin heads, which is the Arabic version of the N-word today, all right? But Jesus owned no slaves. He was not white, and all that. So what happens, though, is that Christianity, from a certain cultural perspective, appears to be the white man's religion.
Okay.
It appears that way because it has been, let's put it this way, Christianity in America has fallen to cultural captivity. Mm. It's one thing to engage the culture. It's another thing to fall into cultural captivity. And when you fall into cultural captivity, then you become subject to the cultural sins. That's why Jesus says, or the Bible says, be in the world, but not of it. Do not conform yourself to the world. Don't fall into cultural captivity. And so what has happened is that Christianity has been associated with like conservatism and things like that. I can tell you right now, just in terms of a disclaimer, I am not conservative, nor am I liberal, nor am I left, nor am I right. I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a Republican. None of those ideologies are I have agreements and disagreements with them, but none of them are worthy for me to identify with them. Does that make sense?
It does.
I kind of like take the position like when Joshua was getting ready to conquer the Holy Land, land. He ran into this angel and said, "Whose side are you on? Ours or theirs?" And he said, "No." That's kind of where I'm at. Christianity definitely is not the white man's religion. But if you look at the life of Jesus himself, what he experienced in his life comports with the African-American experience. I mean, here's a young man who he was born in a city that did not have a very good governmental situation, and when, before he's about 2 years old, they try to do ethnic cleansing, they flee to Africa for a while. I mean, if Jesus was white, they could have easily tracked him down. Hey, look for the white guy, and then he lives in a city that had a notorious reputation. I mean, Nazareth, nothing good comes out of Nazareth. It was the hood of the day, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, hey, I can relate to all of that because Jesus is perfectly human. He affirms, he affirms the human experience, and affirming the human experience, he affirms the African-American experience. So I regard Jesus as African-American, not exclusively so, because I realize if I was Latino, I'd see him as Latino, or Asian or whatever. But the thing is that what has happened in America, American Christianity in a lot of cases has reduced Jesus to a European image. That's why God says in the Bible, "Do not make any graven images." I mean, because you run into that.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Hey, I appreciate that answer, Carl. We're having a little bit of video difficulty right now, so we're gonna put this on pause, and we're gonna come back again with another segment. Again, we're here with Dr. Carl Ellis talking about Free at Last, signature collection, InterVarsity Press. You want to find this online. A lot of these ideas he's talking about, they're brought out in depth in the book. It's a great starting point, no matter where you are in your journey. If you want to understand what's going on today, find out what happened then, and it'll catch you up to speed. Thanks, Carl. We'll be right back.
You got it.